We have some big news following Trump's victory. Vladimir Putin of Russia has stated that the Russians fully intend on restoring relations with the US following a Trump victory. And this is coming at a point where, relations between the US and Russia have been at an all-time low, lower than any point in the Cold War. You have to understand that Syria is fueling this because Obama is basically funding a different side of the war than Russia, and Clinton intended on doing that and more. Clinton intended on making a no-fly zone in Russia. What that would do is that would basically not allow Russia to take out, these terrorist sites, and that would eventually, and then that could add to Russia retaliating by, continuing to do it, and that could lead to a confrontation between the two superpowers. So that would be quite dangerous. Trump, while he was more pro working with Putin, he also stated that he would abstain from working with the rebels and more or less let Putin do the job and maybe even get involved himself. I think that's a better policy, as that, there's no chance of that ending up in a war between us and Russia. Well, the US and Russia. So I think this is encouraging news. It hasn't really hit Western media yet. It might, as well as you have to understand that Russia's been crippled with sanctions. Maybe Trump will do something about that in order to kind of, ease the bad blood between the two countries, because even Putin admitted it's a long road ahead. It's not easy. But he's willing to try, and so is Trump. So I think this is good news. Hopefully, obviously saying one thing is something, actions are completely different, so we're going to have to judge them both by their actions. Nothing has happened yet, but this is a start. I think that, as well as, Ukraine, what does this mean for Ukraine? Well, I think it means that the US is going to be less vocal in supporting the Ukrainians, and they might even take a more neutral stance, which, might not be bad. There's no reason to get involved with Russia, because that could ultimately end in nuclear war. People didn't realize, but we were the closest to having nuclear war we've ever been between the US and Russia. It's not spoken about, but I've seen Putin speaking. Maybe he is exaggerating, yes, but there's definitely some truth to it. And I think the fact that now they're willing to restore relations is an incredible thing. It's incredible for the Russians, the Americans, and the entire world. And this is something that I hope they follow up on. I hope they're not just talking. I hope this becomes the new reality.